Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into some magic? We're taking a deep dive into the world of Harry Potter today, specifically Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. You know, going back to the very beginning, those early chapters that first introduced us to this incredible world. I mean, who doesn't remember that feeling of discovering magic right alongside Harry?
It's amazing, isn't it, how this story, this seemingly simple story about a seemingly ordinary boy, well, a boy living a pretty awful life, actually, managed to resonate with so many people around the world.
Right, totally. It's like Rowling drops us right into this, I don't know, aggressively normal world of Privet Drive.
Yeah.
Everything's so mundane, and then bam, Mr. Dursley sees that cat reading a sign. What'd you think of that the first time you read it? That little flicker of something impossible in such an ordinary setting.
It's brilliant. It's subtle, but it makes you question everything. Like, wait a minute, is this the real world? Or is there something more going on here? And that's how she draws you in, you see.
And speaking of questioning things, the Dursleys themselves, I mean, talk about desperate for normalcy. They're almost comically villainous in their fear of anything magical, especially Petunia, right? Her resentment towards her sister Lily. It's like there's this whole other story there, something deeper and darker going on.
Oh, absolutely. Petunia's little rant about Lily, it's not just sibling rivalry, is it? It reveals this deep-seated prejudice against magic itself. Almost like foreshadowing, don't you think? A hint of the bigger conflict Harry will face: intolerance, fear of the unknown.
And then there's Hagrid. Talk about a way to shatter the Dursleys' carefully crafted facade. Bursting onto the scene, this half-giant on a flying motorbike, like a storm, literally. What'd you make of him? This larger-than-life messenger from a magical world.
Hagrid's fantastic. Not your typical magical messenger, that's for sure.
Hmm.
But underneath that gruff exterior, he's got a heart of gold. And he cares about Harry, you can tell.
He definitely shakes things up. And for Harry, it's like going from 0 to 100 in a second. Suddenly, he's whisked away from the Dursleys' dreary home to the wonder of Diagon Alley. Gringotts guarded by dragons, all those strange and wonderful shops. It's a feast for the senses.
It really is. It's a masterclass in world building. It's not just that Diagon Alley is magical, it's the way Rowling brings that magic to life through details, sensory detail. You can practically smell the apothecary, right? Hear the goblins counting money at Gringotts. It just sucks you right in.
And then, of course, there's Ollivanders. More than just a shop, isn't it? This is where Harry's connection to magic becomes personal. The wand choosing the wizard. What do you think of that whole concept?
Chills every time. It's destiny, you see. It's not just about buying a wand, it's about finding your perfect match. And that detail about the phoenix feather linking Harry to both Voldemort and his own parents. Pure genius.
Talk about foreshadowing, right? It's like from the very beginning, Rowling is weaving this intricate tapestry, hinting at the larger story to come. And then finally, Hogwarts itself.
It's breathtaking. The castle, the grounds, the whole atmosphere. Like stepping into a dream.
Right. But it's not all sunshine and butterbeer, is it? There are whispers about Harry's parents, about Voldemort. A lot for a young boy to process.
Absolutely. It's that blend of wonder and looming darkness that makes it so compelling. Like you're excited for Harry, but there's this underlying sense of danger, of secrets waiting to be uncovered.
And those secrets, well, they're part of what keeps us coming back for more, aren't they?
Exactly. The beginning of an incredible adventure.
And you know, it's funny, right? The Sorting Hat, it sees both Gryffindor and Slytherin in Harry. Like he's got the potential for both the courage and the ambition. It's kind of like we all do, isn't it?
Oh, I think so, definitely. That's what makes the story so relatable. We all have that capacity for both good and evil. It's about the choices we make.
Right, and even before Hogwarts, even back with the Dursleys, there are these little hints of Harry's magic, like bubbling up, you know, that scene at the zoo with the boa constrictor,
Right.
freaking the Dursleys out.
Speaking volumes, isn't it? About who Harry is deep down. And the Dursleys, well, they just can't handle it.
Not one bit. It's like the harder they try to force him into their ordinary little box, the more his magic finds a way to come out.
It's that classic struggle, isn't it? Trying to suppress something that's meant to be to blossom.
And then those letters, right? The Hogwarts letters. No matter how hard the Dursleys try to ignore them, they just keep coming. It's like magic itself is rebelling.
Oh, those letters. Emerald green ink, the Hogwarts crest. They're not just letters, are they? They're a symbol of hope, a lifeline for Harry.
And Uncle Vernon, talk about losing it, dragging them all the way to that rickety shack on that rock in the middle of a storm. Desperate times.
It's like he's trying to outrun destiny itself.
Yeah.
But you can't outrun magic, can you?
Nope. And that's when Hagrid makes his grand entrance, breaking down the door. Talk about a dramatic reveal.
He doesn't just tell Harry the truth, does he? He smashes down the walls the Dursleys built around him, the truth about his parents, about Voldemort. It's a lot to take in all at once, really.
Whoa, right. Imagine being 11 years old and finding out not only are you a wizard, but you're famous in the wizarding world because you survived Voldemort's attack as a baby. Talk about a lot to process.
And yet, through it all, there's this sense of relief for Harry, isn't there? Like, he finally knows who he is. He finally belongs somewhere.
He's not the freak the Dursleys made him out to be. So even though his parents are gone, there's hope, too.
Right.
He's got a whole other world waiting for him.
Exactly. It's that hope that keeps us all turning the pages, doesn't it? That glimmer of something more, something extraordinary.
Speaking of extraordinary, Diagon Alley, right? Talk about a sensory explosion. Goblins, wands, cauldrons, like stepping into a dream.
A dream with fantastic world building, I'd say. You can practically taste those birdie bots. Every flavor beans, just reading those descriptions. Rowling's really a master of detail.
And Ollivanders. That's a magical experience in itself. Not every day you find a wand that chooses you, right?
Destiny, pure and simple. The way the wand vibrates in Harry's hand, the connection, and that little detail about the phoenix feather linking him to Voldemort.
It's like every little detail, every interaction is building towards something bigger. Even Harry meeting Ron for the first time on the Hogwarts Express. Sharing sweets, talking about their families. You just know they're going to be best mates.
It's that simple act of connection, of finding your people that makes all the difference. And what a place to find your people, Hogwarts.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine arriving at Hogwarts for the first time? Those majestic castle grounds, the boats across the lake, the floating candles in the Great Hall. Magic.
Pure magic. And then, of course, the Sorting Hat, everyone holding their breath, waiting to see where Harry will end up. Such a clever way to introduce the different houses, the different personalities at Hogwarts.
And the way Rowling builds the suspense, you're on the edge of your seat. And then, Gryffindor. Phew, what a relief.
It's like destiny fulfilled, right? Following his parents' footsteps. You just know incredible things are going to happen to him at Hogwarts.
But even with all the wonder and excitement, there's also that undercurrent of danger, right? Dumbledore's warnings about the Forbidden Forest, the third-floor corridor. He's not just being cautious, he knows something's up.
Oh, Dumbledore. He's got this way of hinting at things, of letting Harry make his own choices, even if they're a bit risky. Like he's guiding him, but not controlling him.
And guide him he does, right to that invisibility cloak. Talk about a gift.
A symbol of all the secrets Harry will uncover, the adventures he'll have. It's just begging to be explored, isn't it, that cloak?
Totally. Sneaking into the restricted section, finding the Mirror of Erised. Harry's curiosity, it's a driving force in the story.
It is. And the Mirror of Erised, it's more than just a magical artifact. It represents our deepest desires, the things we long for most, even if they're impossible.
And for Harry, it's that longing for family, for love, that allows him to get the stone away from Quirrell. It's like love is its own kind of magic.
Absolutely. That's a theme that runs throughout the series. Yeah. Love as a powerful force, stronger than any evil.
But, you know, the Mirror of Erised, it's not all sunshine and roses, is it? I mean, Dumbledore's warning about it, about how men have wasted away in front of it, consumed by what they see. That's kind of creepy when you think about it.
It is a bit ominous, isn't it? Like it's a cautionary tale about getting lost in what could have been instead of appreciating what is.
Right. And speaking of things we wish we hadn't discovered, Quirrell, who knew, right? Possessed by Voldemort all along. Talk about a plot twist.
Oh, brilliant, isn't it? Voldemort hiding in plain sight, like a wolf in sheep's clothing, really reinforces the idea that appearances can be deceiving.
Totally. And it makes that final showdown in the chamber even more intense. Here's Harry, this first-year student, going up against you-know-who. Talk about brave.
He is. And, you know, that's part of what makes the story so inspiring, isn't it? This ordinary boy finding the strength to face extraordinary challenges.
He doesn't even hesitate, does he? Just jumps right in to protect the stone.
Because ultimately, that's what makes Harry a hero. It's not just his magical abilities, it's his heart, his courage.
And love, right. I mean, the way Quirrell reacts when Harry touches him, that's gotta hurt. It's like his love for his friends, for Hogwarts. It's his secret weapon.
Exactly. That's why Voldemort can never truly understand or defeat Harry. Because he doesn't understand the power of love. It's a force he can't control, can't manipulate.
It's a good thing, too. So Voldemort's gone for now. The stone is destroyed. Everyone's safe. Time for a feast.
Right. You get the feeling, even as Harry's celebrating with his friends, that this is just the beginning.
Oh, absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, what do you think it is about this story that keeps people coming back for more, even after all these years?
I think it's that sense of wonder, that feeling of possibility. It reminds us that magic can be found in the most unexpected places,
Yeah.
and that even ordinary people can do extraordinary things.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the magic within your own lives. Until next time.